new field in my account object. I'll create a new field in my account object saying that count of accounts. I mean, number of times account got updated. Just to capture the error, and then we'll see how to solve that error together. So I'm going to my account object. I'll create a new custom field in my account saying that no, it should not be field dependency. It should be new account number, because I need to count, it should be number. Next, updated count. So length should not be, it's fine to have like 4 characters, no decimal places, but I'll say next. Visible to all my profiles because we are not following any securities. Adding to all page layouts, yes, I'm adding it. So we don't want to do again adding a field to a page layout if we are not doing this. So what happened? I'll go to my test accounts. So here we got a field saying that updated count. As soon as record get updated, I need to fire in my trigger. So now as soon as we get updated, record got updated in the sense whether we are talking about before events or after events. Which events we are talking about?
After you.
After event, right? Successful insertion. It should not
Yeah.
be before. It should be successful insertion, right? So I'm talking about after.
Yes.
I'll say after insert, and I'll say after. But I need to count only how many times it got updated. It means I need to handle after update, right? I need to handle after update. This is an account trigger which we created earlier. So I'm using the same. So now instead of is insert, what I need to use? Is update, and I don't want to handle before. Let me handle a new method called public static void after update. After update. So I'll use my map of id comma account new map. So if I had something like this, the method, and instead of new, I'll say new map. Why we don't have a new map in before insert event? Why do we don't have a before insert event having a new map? What's the reason having using a new instead of new map?
Record is not created, so
Because
there is
there is
no
no
null
record
values.
IDs. There is no record IDs, so key
Right.
is
Right.
missing.
Okay.
Ultimately, key is missing, so you don't get a values properly.
Is valid. Yes.
And now we need to update. So if you want to update anything for the existing, first we need to capture your account IDs. New set of ID. So I hope you know how to write your record. I mean for loop now. New map dot values, in the sense you'll get all accounts. As soon as we get accounts, I'll add my account IDs to my. Do I need to do this? Seriously, do I need to do this? But I'll do. But we wanted to refactor this code again. Record.id. So what I'm trying to get my account IDs, right? Ultimately, why we wanted to use values? We can use key set where you'll get IDs by default, right? Isn't it? You can use a key set, right? Dot key set, in the sense you'll get only keys. So instead of doing this, you can also write in a way. List of account select ID comma. What's the new field that we have created? Updated count. So I can map this to API because this is a custom field that we are using from account where ID in colon. So where you will get your IDs in the new map dot key set. in the new map dot key set. So as soon as you get number of records into a list, I'll iterate my loop, account record colon ACC list. So now I'm iterating my loop. What I need to do in the record, I need to count record dot updated count. First, I need to check only one thing because this is not a zero. That's what I need to check. Else, record dot plus equal to, because this is the first time it is getting updated, so it's fine. Record dot update not equal to null. Then what we need to place equal to 1. So what we are doing, every time we are incrementing one operator. And finally, what we need to do, we need to do a DML operation. We need to update these records back to the database, isn't it? Update ACC list, and I'm saving it. Ultimately, I'm querying my existing records. I'm just incrementing the operator for a first time. If it is already having a value, let's say if it is don't have a value, if it is a null record, then I'm saying it's a 1. Because by default, the first time it is getting updated, so you should say 1, right? So now I'll go, I'll try to edit. I don't save anything, but I save it. What happened? Trigger dot is before it is, not is after. This is the issue. Is after. Edit, save. What happened? You can see execution of after update causes system.email operation at row index. Cannot insert update activity entity. This is the error that you need to remember. If you find something like this, it means this is triggering from a this error is coming from a apex triggers. Account trigger maximum trigger depth exceeded account trigger event. After update account trigger event. After update account trigger event. So these many times it got fired, and finally it said it exceeded the maximum trigger depth. That is what I mentioned, because we are humans. We'll try little later. The system will throw an exception. This is what I mean before. Clear? Now how to solve this error? If this is the case, how to solve this error? So you remember when we are talking about, I recommended you to check for a old map and new map together, isn't it? While writing after update, what I recommended you guys, I always recommended to check old map and new map together, right? Isn't it? Here you can see I'm checking my new data with the old data, right? Clear or not?
Yes, Deepak.
But in this case we don't want to check, because as soon as user click edit and he saves the record, we need to update the count, no matter whether he changed or not changed. For this, what we have a suggest, right? We have a concept called recursive trigger handler. So there is a concept called recursive trigger. So I'm just creating one class saying that recursive trigger. I'll create one public variable, public static boolean is valid. This is my value that I'm saying is valid equal to true, and I'll say public static boolean run once. I'm just creating a method saying that if is valid, if is valid, I'll say is valid equal to false and return true, else return false. So what exactly we are doing? First time, the by default the variable is true. and I'm making it is valid. If it is true, then I'm making it is false, and then I'm returning true. And by method, it will return true. Once it get false, you can see return false, right? This is the simple condition that I added, isn't it? Clear? You can see this, right? Any doubt in this now? You understood this?
Yes, people.
Yeah. And then what I'll do, I'll just keep and is recursive dot run once. I'll call just like this inside the if condition. I'll just call that particular method inside if condition because this is anyway returning boolean, so I can check. So now I'll go. As soon as you can see update count is null, right? If I save, you can see update count is 1. You can see, right, update count is 1. Now if I edit, again I'll say update count is 2. So what makes a difference here? So understand, as we discussed earlier, static variable always keeps a state memory in the entire execution flow, isn't it? So if the static variable is valid equal to true, whenever you call with a static variable, always it will be assigned to a one value. For a first time, if it is running, it will be true. And if the record is calling again, if this is calling second time in the same execution, ultimately this becomes false because we are setting it to false and the return equal to false. And this is the simple statement that you can able to handle a recursive trigger in the system. That you can able to handle recursive trigger in the system. Clear? And generally we don't write recursive something like this. So the best way to write is like this. So instead of execution entire flow, we'll say return. Simply we just make return here. First time we'll check if it is true. Not run once. Not run once in the sense if it is not valid. If it is not valid. Once this is done, what happens? So ultimately the performance remains same. If I edit, say 3. Now I don't update my accounts, I'll update my contacts. I'll update my contacts now. What happens, we'll see, okay. What if I update my contacts? I'll create a new contact using a test Deepak. I'll create a new contact. So what is the particular count now? Account update account is 3, right? It's 3, isn't it? Now I'll create a new contact. Test account. Account name equal to test Deepak. I don't think we need anything else. I just saved it. Okay. Oh, it reached maximum threshold. Oh, contact trigger. Where is the maximum threshold that we are checking? Size, integer count. If it is greater
In
than,
account trigger, we are written.
yeah, I'm just making it. I'm changing it
In
to
account trigger, we are written. Okay.
in
Okay,
contact trigger.
contact. Yeah.
In contact trigger.
Okay.
So I'm just changed that condition to 20. So now before it is 3. Now what happens? Because I created, we also have one more concept called roll up summary, right? We need to update this total contact. Now it got like, I'll say how many contacts we have. 7 contacts ultimately. 6 plus in the sense 7 we have and 4. Why it got updated? Because whether you update directly account record or if it get updated from different ways, everything will be captured by a trigger. There will be no skip points for a triggers. Clear? You understood this loop, right? This recursive. So we just declared a boolean variable is valid, and then if, for a first time if we are checking true means we are making it false and I'm returning true. It means for a first time this method will execute only once. After that, whenever this method invokes, it will be returned false in the same execution flow. Let's say today you executed and the record got successful. If you initiate again, right, then it will be treating this as a fresh concept. It will not treat as the same session. Clear?